there, and welcome to Elevate Leadership, a podcast produced by South Carolina State University Public Service and Agriculture. I am your host, Elizabeth Mosley Hawkins, Senior Director of Strategic Communications for SC State PSA. Now, at SC State PSA, we develop and deliver outreach programs and services on behalf of the university, as well as conduct research to solve problems impacting South Carolinians. With Elevate Leadership Podcast, we discuss business leadership as well as professional and personal growth with entrepreneurs and thought leaders. So if you want to watch previous shows, subscribe on YouTube at SC State 1890 or stay updated on all of our socials, again at SC State 1890. So now let's get into the show. It's safe to say that our guest today owns and operates one of the most popular restaurants in Orangeburg. Now, if you live in Orangeburg, you've probably heard the name Wayne Murphy. He is the founder and president of Haven Connections LLC, or Chick-fil-A Orangeburg. Wayne and his team bring smiles to families across Orangeburg and for those who are traveling through the city. Wayne has a stellar military career with the U.S. Army. Colonel Murphy has held multiple roles with the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Acquisition, Logistics, and Technology at the Pentagon. He completed several tours, including Desert Shield, Storm, and Operation Provide Comfort, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. After retiring from the Army, Wayne took a post at Lockheed Martin in Georgia, serving as the business manager for the C-5 aircraft program. Wayne prides himself on being a servant leader and is active in the community. He serves on several boards and advisory council and is the recipient of numerous awards, such as the 2014 Small Business Person of the Year Award by the Orangeburg Chamber of Commerce. And he was recognized by United States Senator Tim Scott for this achievement. Wayne is a 1988 alumnus of SC State University, Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
And he holds a Master's of Science degree in Acquisition and Contract Management from Florida Institute of Technology. Wayne grew up in St. Matthews, but now resides in Orangeburg, South Carolina with his wife Tina and 2 daughters. Wayne, welcome to Elevate Leadership Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. And I want to say to you guys, South Carolina State PSA, thank you for the work that you do, and bringing knowledge and education to our community is so very important. So, thank you so much for having me as well.
Oh, thank you so much. And I definitely want to thank you. If you all can tell, we are here at Chick-fil-A Orangeburg.
Yes.
And so as we started out this season, we wanted to take it upon ourselves to go to the businesses of our guests. Mm-hmm. And so thank you so much for opening your doors to Chick-fil-A. We know it's a Sunday. Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays. But as you said before the interview, work does not stop.
That's right.
And so thank you so much for opening your doors to us.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to talk about that. So I want to start this interview off the top with the most important question.
Okay.
What's your favorite meal at Chick-fil-A?
My favorite meal at Chick-fil-A is the 3-count strip.
Okay.
With a granola parfait.
See, that's too healthy.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is the number 8, which is the grilled wrap, the ranch dressing, a lemonade. I will always get another large cup of ice because I love Chick-fil-A ice. And then I'll get a side chocolate chip cookie.
Well, that's pretty healthy.
Kind of with the wrap, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
So let's start out. In the intro, I mentioned that you're from St. Matthews, South Carolina, which is not far from Orangeburg, South Carolina. How does one go from growing up in rural St. Matthews to owning a Chick-fil-A?
Well, growing up in St. Matthews was a great experience. I had 2 great parents, and I think that the work ethic that my father instilled in us, because it was 5 boys in the home, and I was the youngest of the 5, And I think that the work ethic that my father modeled and instilled within us was a part of, what I'm able to do today. And, and I can see it across the, with my brothers as well. We love to work and love to give back and do and help other people as well. So that was very important. And my mom, she's still alive.
Okay.
She will be turning 94.
Oh, wow.
This October.
Wow.
And that's a blessing. And it's nothing like having a praying mom.
Yes.
Because that's what she is.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you all have big plans for her 94th birthday?
Yes, we're planning on getting together as a family and doing something for her, not too large, but, just loving on her and celebrating that milestone.
What's the greatest lesson your mom's taught you?
I would say the greatest lesson my mom has taught me was to never stop learning and growing. Because I remember when I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm across the waters overseas. And back then we didn't have cell phones like we do now.
Right.
And the only communication that we had with our loved ones back home in the States was either through mail or email.
Okay.
And at that time, my mom, she wasn't really keen on computers.
Okay.
But she made a sacrifice to learn how to send email in order to stay in contact with me. So that taught me a lot. No matter what age you are, continue to learn and to grow and develop, because there's always something you can learn. So that's very important to me.
And so how do you make sure that you continue to learn? What do you do?
I do a lot of reading.
Okay.
And I also listen to a lot of podcasts. Okay. One of my favorite podcasts person is John Maxwell.
Yes.
And also Craig Rochelle.
Okay.
Haven't
heard of him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I do a lot, and I don't do much physical reading. Okay. I do a lot of audio books because I'm on the road a lot.
Yes.
So it fits within my routine. So that's what I do most of the time to continue to learn and grow. And
then Elevate Leadership will become one of your favorite podcasts.
Yes, absolutely. absolutely.
So listen, a little birdie told me that when you were a student at SC State, you were on the Marching 101.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, the 101 is the always imitated, never duplicated marching band for SC State University.
Yes.
How was that? How was your time at SC State?
That what really attracted me to South Carolina State.
Oh, really? I was going to ask you what made you want to go there.
Yeah,
okay.
What really attracted me to South Carolina State was the Marching 101.
Okay.
I had two other brothers, my older brothers, that marched in the 101.
Oh, cool.
And coming to the games at South Carolina State and seeing them perform, I would say, I have to be a part of this. Have to be a part of this. So, in high school, I was able to receive a music scholarship at South Carolina State and become part of the Marching 101. Nice. And I enjoyed every moment of it. Wow. It was hard work.
Okay.
And I think it helped. And exercising discipline, time management, practicing, trying to study and do all those things. You have to be good at time management.
Right.
So that really helped me with time management and discipline as well.
Those are all skills. So with through SC State PSA, we have a scholarship program, and those are skills that we try to develop with our scholars and just stress to them, because right now I don't think they really understand it. And of course, in hindsight, I guess as they get older, they'll see the importance of that. But how has time management helped you in your career?
It really has helped me, not only what I've gained from South Carolina State through the Marching 101 and also through the ROTC program there, but even through my military career, that time is an important resource that once it's gone, you never get it back.
Right.
So you must be an effective manager of your time, and I taught that and learned that at a very important age, young age, how important it was, and it allowed me to get more things done that I didn't realize that I could get done in a 24-hour period. We all have 24 hours, but it's up to you what you want to do with those 24 hours.
Yeah.
So being an effective time manager is so important, and you'll be amazed about what you get done in that time period.
So in what other ways has SC State helped to shape your career path?
Oh, wow. You know, I started off as a business administration major.
Yes.
Then I changed it to marketing.
Okay.
And I think that was probably the best thing I could have done, focusing on marketing and learning how to market a business, learning how to grow a business. And South Carolina State did such an excellent job in preparing me for that. And the business school there really prepared me, because when I was in business school, one of the projects that we had was to go out into the local community and help local business. You know, and one of my tasks was to help them develop a marketing plan for their business. And through that process, in learning how to work with a business owner, knowing what was important to them, and learning how they want to grow their business, and how I was able as a student at South Carolina State to provide input and insight from what I've learned at the university to help them with their business.
That's amazing. So now full circle.
Full circle.
You own your own business.
Yes.
So have you always wanted to own your own business?
Yes, ever since I was in high school.
Really?
I wanted to own my own business, be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I didn't know at the time what type of business, but it's amazing as I look back over my life and the jobs that I've had and how the military prepared me. You know, it's amazing that only God could have done this, because when I was in college, I had 2 jobs.
Okay.
I worked at Shoney's.
Okay.
Who's still
Yes,
still
still
here in
there,
Orangeburg.
still hanging on.
Yeah, I worked at Shoney's, and I worked at Kmart.
Wow.
Many of you may not know what what Kmart is.
It's the precursor to Target.
Yes. Yes. And that introduced me to the restaurant business and also to retail as well.
Wow.
And then when I went into the military, as a young officer, I was a logistics officer in doing that. And when I became a company commander, one of my roles was I had a dining facility, which is like a cafeteria, as part of my company that I had to run and manage. And then after that, my next job, I became what was called the Army Subsistence Officer.
Okay.
Where I was in charge of writing all the doctrine for food service for the United States Army.
Whoa.
So as I look back, I said, wow, you know, it's amazing how things were set up and how God orchestrated it so that I could be an owner of a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
So now let me ask you something a little bit about that. During your time, you know, getting to owning a Chick-fil-A, were there times of frustration? Like, did you feel like I'm not where I want to be, or were you in the flow and you just said, I'm just going to let this unfold as it happens?
You know, how I got introduced to Chick-fil-A was once I retired from the military, I went to work at Lockheed Martin. And while at Lockheed Martin in Marietta, Georgia, I became a raving fan of Chick-fil-A. I was at a Chick-fil-A during my lunch break.
Okay.
We were stopped at Chick-fil-A on our way to church on Wednesday night services.
Okay.
So I just loved the culture and loved what Chick-fil-A stood for. So during that time, I became very close friends with owner-operators in Atlanta, Georgia area. And they said, hey, you may want to take a look at this opportunity. I said, well, before I get too serious about this process, I want to make sure this is something that I would love to do.
Okay.
So I started working at different Chick-fil-A's in Atlanta on weekends and at night while I was still working at Lockheed.
Wow.
Did that for a couple years and just loved it. And that's when I really got serious about the process. Because once I retired from the military, you know, I wanted more than just a 9-to-5 job. I wanted to have more flexibility in my schedule, and I thought that entrepreneurship would allow me to do that. And before I looked at Chick-fil-A, I looked at other franchises as well. But I felt that Chick-fil-A really fit within my beliefs and what I hold true and close to me as an individual. And I thought it was a perfect fit to my values. So, you know, during the process, as I was going through and I got serious about the process and I was going through the interview phase and which is very thorough, and my plan at that time was to stay in Atlanta, to open up a restaurant or take over an existing restaurant in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So as I got further along in the process, they said, would you consider going to Orangeburg? I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, sure, absolutely. I said, that's my backyard.
So were they already researching Orangeburg as a potential market, or they knew that you were from that area? Oh,
they were already researching and looking at Orangeburg during that time.
Okay.
And when I came along, they said, hey, we feel is the perfect fit.
Yes. For
the community and for the brand. And so here I am.
Here you are, and I'm gonna tell you, every summer, this 601?
601, yeah.
You cannot turn into the Chick-fil-A parking lot. I mean, it is that popular. And I know with summer, of course, because people are traveling. We're right off of 26, so people are probably going 95 or Charleston. So it is, I mean, it is a perfect fit for the community. So what challenges did you experience in the process of becoming an owner of a franchise?
I think one of the challenges that I faced was to, especially coming from a military career, is really how to effectively communicate with civilians, I would say. And to know what motivated them, what their drive was in order to do that. So that was one of my challenges. And one of the things I had to remind myself is, Wayne, it's not about you. It's not about you. Because I remember a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he said that life's most persistent and important question is, who are you helping? What are you doing to help others? And I said, you know, it's not about me. How can I make this a win-win situation for both of us? And diving deep into have a relationship and learn about my team members is so important. And I give my credit to my leadership team and my team members because what we do day in and day out, they make it look easy. And it's not easy, especially with the volume that we do on a day-to-day basis. But, you know, I wanted to really look at them and say, hey, how can this be a win-win for both of us? You know, that we can, you know, achieve your goals, your desires, what you're looking for, and at the same time, what we want to do as a brand here in Orangeburg.
And so what have you discovered motivates your team?
What motivates?
In general, because I know everybody is different, but just in general, what have you learned about motivating the team?
You know, I believe in servant leadership. Servant leadership. You serve first and you lead second. John Maxwell said that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I strive to do that every day with my team. First, being a competent leader. Continuing to even show them as an example the importance of continuing to learn and to grow. And I always stress to them, never get complacent of where you are, because that's a dangerous place to be. Then as a leader, you want to walk the talk. You want to exercise that and show that example before them each and every day. And I think one of the most important things that I think our team loves is showing them the way. And by showing them the way, I'm growing them. I'm developing them. I'm teaching them. Because I always tell them, don't look at this as a job. Look at it as opportunity. As an opportunity. Because what you learn here and the skill sets that you gain is going to last you for the rest of your life, no matter what you decide to do in life.
Yes. And you could be very well developing the next Wayne Murphy.
Yes.
And
You're absolutely right.
You talk about servant leadership. I mean, I've seen you behind the counter and at the window. So, I mean, you definitely demonstrate that, not only to your staff, but just to people in the community who are familiar with you and your face. So you definitely espouse that. You talked about the core values of Chick-fil-A and mentioned that it's important to you to give back. How does one ensure that you live up to the core values of a brand or a business?
I think one of the things, first of all, my core values for Chick-fil-A Orangeburg is integrity, service, and excellence.
Okay.
And that's what I try to model each and every day before the team. One of the things that kind of allowed me to have that moral compass, so to speak, to keep me on task, to keep me focused, is the Word of God. And also my wife.
Okay.
Also my wife. Because we knew that coming here to Orangeburg was more than about us. That there was a mission, there was an assignment that we had.
Love it.
And that really keeps me focused. Even sometimes when, it seems like, you take one step forward, you get knocked back 2 steps.
Yeah.
You go to that why. Why are you here? What's your purpose? And that's what keeps me true to my assignment.
So customer service.
Yes.
Everybody knows if they come to Chick-fil-A, they're going to get an "It's my pleasure."
Yes.
You have so many businesses that suffer from a lack of customer service. But you can go to the Chick-fil-A in Columbia, to Maryland, Florida, and you're always going to get that consistent "It's my pleasure." And I really think that it is the customer service that you all deliver that brings people back. Why is customer service important to a business?
Customer service is important to a business because the customers provide the resource for the business to exist. And I stress, when I do team member orientation to everyone that comes on board to the team, I always stress to them, I always tell them, I don't pay your paycheck. I don't. The customer that you serve each and every day, they are the ones that are providing the resource so that you can get paid, that you can go out and buy clothes or pay your bills or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
And get them to think, okay, this is why. I need to make sure that I'm serving my guests, the guest that comes here, in a remarkable way, because that's very important. And John Maxwell once said that everything rises and falls with leadership. Customer service starts with leadership. People will do what leaders allow them to do. That's for sure. People will do what leaders allow them to do. So it starts with the leader. We as leaders must make sure that we are exhibiting great customer service, that we're not acting or reacting off emotions. Because this is a service business.
Yes.
And if you wear your emotions on your sleeve, it will get hurt. It will get hurt. So always reminding them that customer service is so important, that when things go wrong, because they will, because we're not perfect, but when they do, we want to make sure that we get it right. that we get it right.
So there's this concept of extreme ownership, right? And you talked about ownership. A lot of times leaders may not want to face challenges that they experience in the business, but as you said, it always goes back to the leader. So how do you humble yourself and express responsibility for maybe the actions of, a staff member, and ensure that you continue to maintain those core values?
I think one of the very important piece of that is the interview process. Making sure that we're doing our due diligence in screening and making sure that we're attracting the talent that we want to have. And once they get on board, if something goes wrong, whether it's a team member or a leader, they're not conducting themselves with a guest in the way that we think they should, then we step back.
Okay.
I always tell the team that it's very easy for me to terminate you. That's easy.
Right.
But, I look back and said, man, how many people have given me a second chance? So we pull back and look at the individual and say, hey, do they need to be retrained, or what can we do to develop them? Maybe they're in the wrong position.
Okay.
And have that conversation. How do you feel about doing this task or being in this position? What do you think within the restaurant is a good fit for you? Going back to that win-win. So we try to come back and to help and to develop that growth and development within the team and pull out their talents.
Love it. Okay.
We always a lot of times we focus on their weaknesses.
Yep.
But I always tell leaders that let's focus on their strengths and see how we can capitalize on their strengths. We can work with their weaknesses, but let's focus on their strength and maximize that.
Love that. And so what does that look like? Does that look like mentorship with a team leader? How does that look?
It looks like, like mentorship. That's part of it. And also, sometimes we go back kind of like in a classroom setting.
Okay.
Let's make sure that the foundation is right.
Got it.
Because if the foundation is not solid, then anything that you try to build upon it is not going to last. So we peel back and say, hey, let's look at the foundation and make sure that you have what it takes, the resource, the tools, in order for you to be successful. Because if you're not successful, then we're not successful.
So we quite often hear about the lack of qualified or trained employees, especially after COVID. Like nobody wants to work, it seems like. So what measures have you all put into place to make sure that you have a pool of employees and that they're always ready to work and willing to work?
That's a very good question. Because it seems like after COVID, the game changed.
Yes.
It really has. It really has. And the talent pool is very challenging. Very challenging. So what we did in order to try to focus on that and work with that is, okay, we're going to focus on having a culture of care. A culture of care.
Okay.
That we're going to care for our team. Because I feel that if we exhibit care with our team, then they're going to exhibit care to our guests that we serve every day. So some of the things that we've done, because one of the issues that we noticed after COVID was a lot of mental challenges that our team were facing.
Okay.
So I decided to bring in Corporate Chaplains of America, where we have a chaplain that comes in once a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He comes in once a week, and he meets with the team. If If they want to come in and talk or whatever, share what's on their heart, they have that opportunity to do
love that.
And it's been great. It's been great for the team to have someone that they can confide in.
Yeah.
And the chaplain doesn't come back to me and say, hey,
Right.
I had this conversation. Everything is confidential.
Okay.
Unless a team member is making statements that they're going to hurt themselves or hurt someone else, then that's when I get involved.
Okay.
But other than that, it's strictly confidential, and they have established that relationship with our corporate chaplain that's able to talk them through some difficult things that, whether they're dealing in the workplace or at home as well. And one of the things that I love about the Corporate Chaplains of America program is that, they're available 24/7.
Oh, wow, okay.
24/7. And not only to our team members, but to their families as well.
Wow.
So if there's a death in the family, the corporate chaplain makes himself available. He goes to the hospital, visits sick team members.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's also able to marry team members if they so desire as well. So it's been a great program. So that's one.
Okay.
The other thing was exhibiting a culture of care is that I feel that getting a higher education in the United States is so expensive. And I don't feel that someone should go into debt to get a higher level of education, especially in the United States. So I partner with Point University. Point University is a accredited school out of Georgia.
Yep.
And we offer 2-year programs, 4-year degree. It also master's degree. It's all online.
Wow.
For our team. It's tuition free
Whoa.
for every team member.
That is amazing.
It's tuition free. They only have to pay for their books
Okay.
and the supplies that's needed for the course. So we're trying to be creative, think out of the box of developing a culture of care that we can attract and retain quality individuals.
That is amazing. I commend you all for doing that. And just kind of staying along that lines, I know that Chick-fil-A has, I guess, the ideology of having hometown heroes.
Yeah.
Right? So you're a hometown hero. Why is it important for you to give back? Not just through the values of Chick-fil-A, but just your personal responsibility to Orangeburg and beyond, because I know you serve on boards throughout the state. So why is it important for you to give back?
I think one of the things I saw it in my parents growing up as a child, as they gave of themselves, not only to their sons, but to the community as well. So I learned that at an early age. And then coming to be a part of Chick-fil-A, our founder, Truett Cathy, one of the things he always told us, he says, not only are we in the chicken business, but most importantly, we're in the people business. We're in the people business. And we are blessed to be a blessing. We are blessed to be a blessing. And that goes back to having that servant's heart.
Right.
Who are you helping? How are you helping others? So it just fits to my values, my beliefs of being a part of a community and giving back in any way that I can to make our community better. Because as our community grows and thrives, that helps everyone.
Yes.
It helps everyone.
And Orangeburg is growing. So now,
Yes.
right now, this whole thing that I'm seeing online, because there are other franchises coming to Orangeburg.
I'm excited.
Listen,
I'm excited.
I heard there's a tropical smoothie coming and a Chipotle.
Yes.
You know, I love those
Yes.
places. So, but you're a part of that,
Yeah.
right? So what does that mean for you and how, the growth of Orangeburg?
I'm excited because I feel that it's long overdue.
It is.
It's long overdue.
Yes.
And I always say that Orangeburg has so much potential. I always say it's a hidden treasure.
It is.
We just have to tap into it.
Yes.
And it's long overdue, and I'm excited about the businesses that are coming here. Not only fast food, but I think you're going to see other industries.
You know, an inside scoop. You have an inside scoop.
But I think you're going to see other industry come to Orangeburg.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important. And it's going to help the community at large.
It will. And Orangeburg is so deserving
Yes, it
of
is.
what's happening.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And you know, I always say that our community deserves the best.
It does.
We deserve the best.
Yeah.
We don't deserve to be second in nothing.
No.
We deserve the best.
I think we have to believe it and then
Yes.
and then move forward, you know,
Exactly.
in those areas.
Exactly.
Whatever our gifts are, our talents are, and help to bring that development here in whatever way we can.
Yeah. And I think that as we, especially the business community, if we have the mindset of thinking, how can we make our community better and work towards that common goal? Because I believe there's power in unity.
Absolutely.
And when we are unified and operating as one, it doesn't say that we have to agree on everything, but we're moving in a oneness,
Yes.
in a oneness direction as a community. The sky's the limit of what we can do.
Love it. Love that positivity. So we're going to wrap up, but I do have two more questions I want to ask you. For individuals that have a desire to open their own franchise, or they're researching about it,
Right.
what would you say? What do they need to do? What's maybe the first 3 steps or so?
Well, first, I would say they need to understand their passion, their why. And one of the things I always stress to my team members is don't strive for success, strive for excellence. Because when you strive for excellence, no, we're not perfect, but you continue to learn and grow in striving for excellence, success will come. Success will come. So making sure that they understand their passion, their why, of why they were created. Don't ever look at going into a profession or trying to own a business because you feel that I can make a lot of money. that it's not going to cut it.
Got it.
It's not going to cut it. Because if it's not part of who you are, because there are going to be some days as a business owner, you're going to have to figure out, okay, I need to motivate myself. And if this is not your passion, it's going to eat you alive.
Wow.
So first of all, understanding what you were created for and if this is your passion.
Okay.
I think that's the one of the biggest steps.
Okay.
I would say the second is have a mentor. Whatever business you are looking at going or pursuing, seek out a mentor who's doing that and glean from them and learn from them. And you will discover, okay, is this something really, do I want to do or not?
Right.
In doing that. And I would say the third thing is, which is very important when you try to become a franchise owner or any business owner, make sure your finances is straight.
Okay.
Make sure your
Yes.
is straight because it's very important. If you can't manage your household,
Talk about it.
how do you think someone's going to entrust you to manage a business?
Good point.
So, so those are the 3 top
Love
things
it.
that comes to mind.
Okay. Got to get our finances together, folks. My last question. Bulldog tenacity.
Bulldog tenacity.
How do you use it every day?
Wow, that's a great question. You know, being a Chick-fil-A owner, traveling around the country, and even when I was in the military, when you tell people you're from South Carolina State,
They know?
their eyes open up.
Wow.
Because they know the history and legacy of what South Carolina State produces. That you are a quality person who knows what they're doing and can be trusted to execute and make things happen. That's bulldog tenacity.
Yes.
That's bulldog tenacity. And the university in large, as a whole, has really prepared me. I always tell students that are at state now, just glean and learn. When you walk across that stage and get that diploma, you're ready.
They're ready.
You're
We
ready.
might have to use that as a commercial for the university. We'll take this clip and send it to the PR department for the university.
Yeah.
Well, Wayne, I really appreciate you taking your time to talk to us on Elevate Leadership podcast. And I don't think this is necessary because I'm sure anybody can find the Chick-fil-A. But for someone who just can't find the Chick-fil-A, tell us where you can find Chick-fil-A Orangeburg.
We're at 3559 St. Matthews Road, across from OC Tech, off of 601.
Yes.
And if you're looking for a good meal and a good experience, come check us out.
Well, thank you so much, Wayne, for coming on the show. And again, thank you for opening your doors. And we really appreciate the work that you do here in developing the next generation of leaders, or just, individuals who are in our community. Thank you for the smiles, the chicken that you give to us, and just like you said, that care. And also to your family for being servant leaders in Orangeburg, as well as the contributions that you make to South Carolina State and to the students.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us again. You're watching Elevate Leadership Podcast. We hope you will join us next month. Thank you for watching today's show of Elevate Leadership Podcast. You can catch us all the time on any of our streaming platforms at SC State 1890.